Hello, welcome to my series about being a slightly older woman trying to navigate the modern dating world and the challenges that I've suffered in my couple of months of trying to do this. First off, I want to talk about online dating apps. If you've been on them, you know that they're kind of a challenge at times. The first thing is just that question of what is it you're looking for? Because people define things differently. So what I was looking for initially is to go out on dates with people, maybe a couple different people. Nothing too serious. Go do fun things. Go to concerts, events, fun things like that. So I picked casual dating because I thought that's what casual dating meant. Apparently to a lot of people, casual dating means I want to hook up with a bunch of people. So won't make that mistake. Secondly, still figuring it out. I thought that meant I'm figuring it out. Apparently, what that means to some people is I've got a situation, I haven't resolved it. Don't make that mistake.
She's going to sink, Captain.
But she can't sink. She's unsinkable.
She can't float.
Challenges of dating as a slightly older woman. Yeah, sure, Colleen. We'll just use that term instead of saying a decade plus post-wall. Let me guess. The way you phrase that and the way you keep twirling around with your hair, I'm going to assume that you think that you're still as hot as you were when you were dating in your 20s. And you thought that dating was going to be the same kind of way it was when you were much younger, much prettier. Your taco was a lot less cracked and didn't resemble roast beef. So you're shocked and shaken because men aren't tripping over themselves to date you like they used to? You're shocked and shaken because maybe, just maybe, you're the one who gets ghosted? And you think the apps are the problem? Sweetheart, the apps are tailored towards women. On top of that, you actually thought that casual dating was men were going to spend all their money on taking you out on concerts and everywhere you wanted to go? You're shocked and shaken that casual dating is now hookup culture? Well, sweetheart, here's the problem. The men that you're attracted to are not these gullible 19, 20-year-old kids who basically are figuring things out so they do whatever you want them to do in order for them to be with you. No, these are far more experienced, far more valuable men who know what they're worth and what their time is worth. If they can spend their money on dating younger women and get a far crispier taco that way, you're not going to get the full dollar, honey. You're going to get the change that's left over. Also, the comment of figuring things out. Well, you have to understand, the guys may have some issues figuring things out, but trust me, Colleen, so do you. Before we move on, I want to bring to attention that 75% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. Come on, fam. You've seen my logo on other channels, and you're already here. Please hit that subscribe button and support the channel. It really helps out. Moving on.
Let's have a little lunchtime in my car chat, shall we? Have y'all ever been dating a guy who actually asked you to send him $40 via Venmo? Look, this happened to me and I'm not even kidding. We were kind of dating. We would meet up. He lived in a different state, so we would drive to meet each other and hang out. And he actually said he needed $40 for gas. First of all, do you know who you're talking to? If you're going to hang out with me and you don't have $40 for gas, we have bigger problems. And second of all, who doesn't have $40? I mean, at our ages, I understand some people aren't going to have $40, but I fully expect you, if you're in a dating world, to have $40. Like, why do I keep saying $40? I'm just so in shock. I'm still in shock. And this was a long time ago. This is not a new story. So anyway, I told him that this relationship just was not going to work out. Like, clearly he had some issues he needed to work on. And then we went our merry ways. Of course, this is one of those men that just comes back around every once in a while with a new story about how he's bettered himself. I'm sure he has $40 now, but he can go spend that on someone else. Like and follow if you want more dating stories. Have a good day.
Oh, hell no.
So the guy requested $40 up front to help him get to the date. Can you say drizzle drizzle? Sorry, Colleen, but women have always expected men to pay and always wanted equality. Now he's actually giving you that equality. Because when you ask, do you know who you're talking to? Do you know who you're dating? I'm pretty sure he does. That's why he asked her the $40. Funny, isn't it? When women don't have money, men are supposed to provide. When men don't have money, women call them dusties. Maybe he is a dusty, maybe he isn't a dusty. This can be seen from many different points of views. You got the usual female lens. How about an alternate view of this thing? What if we see it as he's just saying, hey there, queen, I'm not asking for 40 of your dollars. I'm just saying, why don't you forward a little slice of that alimony money you get from your ex-husband over here so I can come see you? So in reality, it's not your $40 now, is it? She is probably hesitant being on the tail end of those alimony payments now. I mean, let's face it, sweetheart. If you were dating this guy guy, there was something about him that you liked. The fifis were there. Maybe the guy gave proper D, maybe he didn't. We don't know, we weren't there. But keep in mind, this gorilla can say a couple things because you're the one who's posting your dating stories out there. And if you are getting alimony from your ex-husband and it's starting to dry up, well again, drizzle, drizzle. It's time for you to throw your line back out there to catch another big simp fish to put a ring on it so you can work on that retirement plan. Either way, the one who's complaining about money here is you, sweetheart. The guys you're attracted to have money. I'm going to assume they just don't like beef jerky. Moving on.
Hi y'all, it's your Texas girl here. I just wanted to talk to y'all about dating, especially when you're in your 50s and you're a lady. Okay, I don't know if it's just me, but it's exhausting dating in your 50s. We have to first think about our hair. We got to think about, okay, are my roots showing? How about my grays? Do I got to get my grays fixed? I got to get my roots done. And then I got to worry about straightening my hair now because everybody wants your hair straight. Why? I want to go back to the 80s where I can have big hair. And then we got to have eyebrows. Back in the 90s, we didn't have to have eyebrows. Now I got to have eyebrows. And oh my God, not to mention the lashes. I can't do those fake lashes. I can't put them on. I just can't do it. And then let's talk about waxing. We got to wax those eyebrows. Not just our eyebrows, ladies. When we're in our 50s, we got to wax our mustaches. We got to wax our chins. And we got to worry about other things, too. There's lots of hair in places that weren't there back in the 80s and 90s. And then our manicures. Oh, my God. Now we got to get a manicure because our fingernails have got to look good. Back in the 80s, I did it myself. I can't do it now. I can't. And then our toes. Oh, my God, I can't even reach my toes. Can you reach your toes? Can you do your own pedicure? I can't do my own pedicure anymore. And then I got to shave my legs. Girls, dating is exhausting. I am tired once I get ready. It takes me a good 48 hours to get ready for a date. Is it just me? Or does everybody like this? I don't know.
Gee, my granddaughter, post-war queen, I can't help but notice that you keep mentioning how things were back in the day, back in the 80s, back in the 90s. Listen, Granny, you're not back in those days. You're not in your 20s. You're not in your early 30s. You're in your 50s on up. You're in a whole different league. You're in a whole different sport. You actually are no longer dating on easy mode. You're competing against women your own age and younger women. You don't get as much attention as you used to. Your plumbing probably has issues and a few leaks. Your taco's been cracked for a while. Welcome to dating on a normal mode setting. I know, it's horrible, isn't it? And guess what, Granny? It's still easier than what men have to go through. I mean, you're complaining about fixing your hair. Men have to have several attraction points. They have to have their money on point. They have to know how to talk. They have to know how to court a woman. They have to know how to approach a woman without coming off as creepy. You just have to exist. Even with your grays, trust me, somebody will consider you target practice. You don't just want bedroom fun. You want an actual relationship, which is going to be tough depending on the type of man you're going to go for. You women call it lowering your standards. Men call it accepting reality. And as a side note, Granny, if you got to take 48 hours to get ready for a date, man, you got more issues than most. I mean, you're just mentioning like your nails and your toenails and waxing and shaving. Yeah, it's called maintenance. It's called upkeep. Sounds like you don't do any of it up until you actually get a date and then you put in the work. I highly recommend you just do what women your age usually do. Forget the dating market and just go into being a granny and taking care of your grandkids, if you have any. Collect up a bunch of cats. There's stray cats out there that need moms. Hell, some of you queens will find cats on the street that have a collar on them. Just remove the collar, stray now, and you take them in. Another thing that you're going to realize soon, Granny, is that box wine becomes a very good friend on those lonely nights. But I am pretty sure I'm not telling this Granny anything she doesn't already know. I mean, she's already on TikTok, for crying out loud. I mean, that's like the fourth stage of dating as a grand elder post-war queen. Moving on.
Do you want to know why you haven't met a man or why you don't have a man in your life? Look, this sounds so terrible, but I have something to share. I was with one of the most fun, one of the best looking guys that I know. He's just a good friend in my life. And we were talking, it was 2 nights ago, and we were talking. And we were talking about relationships and men and women. And here's what he said, something super interesting. And I wanted to do this video because I needed to share with you all. Because I said to him something about, I mentioned this one person, and he said, she is not happy. And I said, what? The most interesting thing that I got from this guy, that he actually coaches women on meeting men, right? I guess he's like a dating coach or whatever. He said to me, when you appear happy, that's when men want to be around you. When you appear super happy. So what does that mean? That means that means you're like beaming joy, right? Like beaming happiness.
Show of hands for everybody who knew. Bingo.
Wow, this granny sure takes a long time to get to the point. But in short, yeah, men want to be with happy women. Let me translate that for my X chromosome impaired. What that means is, if you're happy, chances of you having a lot of baggage are lower than expected. It's not a guarantee, but it's a rule of thumb. When women constantly complain to men saying, I'm not happy, or I wasn't happy, or I want a man that makes me happy, red flags all across the board. It's not a man's job to make you happy. You're supposed to be happy with yourself. But obviously, if you got something that's weighing you down, it's going to weigh the men down. So men are going to say, no thanks there, granny. This is my stop. Another thing that you grannies may want to think about is, for as much as a man likes you, if he has to work overtime to make you happy, that means that the chances of you breaking it off with him and taking him to the cleaners in family court is high. Because you already used that one time. I mean, the song and dance that you're going to use of, oh, well, I wasn't happy, that's why I put in for the divorce, can be easily repeated with the next guy who doesn't make you happy there, Grandma. But like always, it's just easier to blame the men, right? Yeah, spread the word around, but it's going to fall on deaf ears, clogged up by menopause.
And so, I don't know, is this ringing true with you? Tell me what you think. I want to hear from the ladies in the comments, because I really took this to heart. He said something like, so many women have so many issues, so many women have men too, right? I looked at him and I said, men too. And he said, yeah. And so probably I should have started this video with do you want to know why you don't have a person? not a man. So forgive me, ladies, forgive me. I should have said, do you want to know why you don't have a person? Here's the thing. I know so many of my friends are looking to meet somebody, men and women. So think about this. Please, please, please take this to heart. Take this to heart. Find it inside yourself to walk into a room with joy, to walk into a room with a smile. Light up the room when you walk in. And men and women will want to be around you. They'll want to be around your energy, and they won't want to let you go. Leave me a comment. Let me know what I want to know what you think, because I did this video just to try to help. I love you all.
No there, sister. You actually did it right by calling out women at the beginning by saying why you don't have a man. And let me explain why. In the latter half of life, past middle age, the demographic that overwhelmingly wants to be married is women. A good chunk of men that go through the circus of family court decide they don't want a second shot at it. A lot of men who decide to get married again find themselves in family court once again. Now, I have to say, because those men either really like the institution of marriage, even though it's failed them twice already, or they've been brainwashed to believe that. But either way, for every extra round that goes, that's more and more men that opt out. Women, no. Women, you get married, then you decide with your fifis, I'm not happy, and you put in for the divorce. And then after divorce, if you don't already have a backup relationship already going, which half of you already do, those of you don't, you decide, oh, you know what? My fifis tell me I don't want to be alone. I want to be married again. Except the chances of you changing your fifis again and wanting to be divorced again is higher the second time around, and even higher the third time around. So this thing about finding your person, who are you trying to kid here, Colleen? You should call it finding your retirement plan, because that's what most of you grandolder post-wall women do.
Now that's a lot of damage!
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.